Yo, 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 yo. This is Mr. G coming at you live from DePaul. We're going to talk about equations with the distributive property. So, a couple things with this one is one, we do need to remember what the distributive property is. So this is an example of what that is, but we should remember it at this point in time. And we also need to remember how to combine like terms, all review terms, yet still important. So, some of these are going to be fairly self-explanatory, where you're going to say, oh yeah, that's easy, that's exactly what I would have done. Some of these I'm going to show you some shortcuts and some tricks. So for this first one here, for part A, I have solve, and I have this long equation right here at the variable on both sides with some parentheses in the middle here. So what I want to do is, when you have the distributive property in the middle, and there's no fractions, there's no decimals, and it's pretty straightforward like this one, you're just going to do the distributive property first and get rid of your parentheses before you do anything else. So really what we want to do is we want to simplify each side of the equal sign before we start moving stuff over left to right. Okay? So we don't want to move stuff around yet. We want to simplify each side, and then we're going to start moving stuff around. So the first thing I'm going to do to simplify just this left side is I'm going to do distributive property. So it's 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. I still haven't done anything with this 1 or this 2 plus x over here. Now this is where I'm just going to simplify this left side, and I'm going to combine my like terms. I have a negative 15 and a positive 1. That's going to give me negative 14. And now I have a pretty easy looking equation from here. So now I can use all my normal steps to solve, and I can subtract x from both sides. That's like subtracting 1x. That's going to leave me with 2x minus 14 equals 2. And now I've got back to a normal easy two-step equation. I need to make my line long. There we go. My line long enough. Boom. So I'm left with 2x equals 16 divided by 2. And I get x equals 8. I know I kind of rushed through the end, but the main part is just the beginning is my main area of focus. So what I did is I did distributive property, and then I simplified before I started moving stuff to both sides of the equal sign. So go ahead and just try the second one on your own. I don't think we need to see more. Try the second one on your own, and see how you do. Pause it, and try it out. Okay. Hopefully you have an answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to worry about getting rid of these parentheses first, and then I'm going to simplify this side, and then we're going to start moving stuff over. So I'm going to do my distributive property, which is going to give me negative 4k minus 4 minus 3. And then I just bring everything else down. I'm going to combine my like terms here with this negative 4 and this negative 3. So that's going to give me, I'm going to bring everything else down. Negative 4k minus 7, because negative 4 and negative 3 make negative 7. Now from here, I want to add 7k because that's going to give me a positive coefficient. So I've got 5 equals 3k minus 7. And now I'm at a normal two-step equation, where I get x equals, or k, I'm sorry, k equals 4. All right. So if we got something wrong, look at my steps. You should be able to figure out where you went wrong. So now you're also going to have some word problems, of course. So with the word problem here, this one is a little bit tricky, and it's going to show you an example of when we would use parentheses in a word problem. And we multiply whatever's inside the parentheses. So when you go to a restaurant, you normally have your bill, and then you pay tip based on the percentage of that bill. So the Coleman family, they went, and their bill was reduced by $7.50 because of a discount that they had. So I have their original bill, and it was reduced by $7.50. So whatever the original price was of the bill, they got $7.50 off. Now, they left a tip of $8.90. So they left a tip of $8.90, which was 20% of the reduced amount. So this right here, I don't know what the original bill was, but what I do know is I know all of this represents the final reduced amount of the bill after the discount. So because all of this represents that, they left a tip that was 20% of this total right here. They left a tip that was 20% of this total. When I want to know what 20% of a number is, I multiply. Like if I want to know what 20% of anything is, I do 20% times that value. So I want to multiply 20%, which is 0.2, because we don't use percentages, we move our decimal over twice, so it's 0.2. I want to find out what 20% is of their final bill. Well, their final bill is whatever the original bill is minus $7.50. That's going to give me the tip amount. Well, the tip amount was $8.90 because the tip amount was 20% of the bill. And that is equal to $8.90. There's my equation. Now I can figure out what the bill was before the discount, because this is the bill including all of this is the bill including the discount, but the bill before the discount is just this B right here. So now I can solve. So from here, there are a couple ways to do this. This is where I want to show you a little bit of a shortcut. With decimals, I am able to either I could multiply like normal if I really want to, or I could get rid of the decimal. It does not matter. Up to you. So what I could do is I could multiply this equation by 10. And I have to multiply both sides by 10. Now the cool part is I do not have to multiply inside the parentheses by 10. I only have to multiply everything on the outside. So by multiplying by 10, that's going to make this 2 times B minus 750 equals 89. Because I moved my decimal over once to the right. And 89.0 is 89. I got rid of my decimal. Now from here I could use distributive property, and I don't have quite as many decimals to worry about anymore. And I'm still going to get the same answer. So this was just a quick shortcut, but the big thing here is when we multiply everything to get rid of the decimal, is we don't have to do it inside the parentheses, because now when I do distributive property, I'm actually carrying that 10 inside the parentheses right now. So I don't want to multiply by 10 twice. So now I'm going to solve 2b minus 15 equals 89. I did my distributive property. 2 times negative 750 is negative 15. I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So I get 2b equals 104. Then I can divide by 2. So the original bill is $52. Okay. That was one way to do it. Another way is you could have just done distributive property from here and left the decimal, and that would have been totally fine. That would absolutely work. There's no problems. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So then instead you would have had 1.5, and it still would have been 8.9. Then you would have added 1.5 to both sides. You would have had 10.4. You would have divided by 2. So it all would have worked by 0.2, and you still would have gotten to 52. So that was also another way you could have done this. Okay. So, additional practice. I want to focus on, so number one is one that's pretty much self-explanatory, I believe. But one big thing on this one is that, again, so you're going to need to get rid of the parentheses first. But one thing is a word of caution is notice how this is a negative 9 here. When we distribute, we always use the sign that's in front of the number. It makes our lives a lot easier. So when I do distributive property, I'm bringing everything down. This is negative 9 times y, which is negative 9y. Negative 9 times 2, which is negative 18. That's the big one there. So just make sure when you use your distributive property that you include the sign that's in front of the number. We carry that with us. Then from here, again, I would simplify each side first of my equal sign, and then I'm going to worry about moving stuff around to both sides. So I'm going to have y minus 5 equals this 3 and negative 18. I can combine those to be not positive, but negative 15. Almost messed that one up. And I brought down my negative 9y. It doesn't matter if I had the negative 15 in front or behind. It does not make a difference. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve by adding 9y to both sides. 10y minus 5, negative 15, let's see, plus 5. Looks like I'm going to get negative 1 as an answer. Yep, So I get y equals negative 1. Now for the second one, this is the one, so now I have a fraction. So again, just like with the decimals, what we could do is I could do distributive property. That's totally fine. And if these are both multiples of 4, the fraction would be gone pretty quickly. But if I look here, if I do distributive property, this is going to give me 3/4 x minus 39/4. That does not look very friendly. So what we could do instead, I could multiply everything by whatever my common denominator is to get rid of the fraction. So I could multiply by 4. But I'm only multiplying the values outside of my parentheses by 4. So I only have to multiply the 3/4 by 4 and the negative 2 by 4. So those cancel. I'm left with 3 times x minus 13 equals negative 8 times 9 plus x. By doing that, now when I just do my distributive property, because I'm distributing a larger number, that's also multiplying everything on the inside by 4. So that's why we're not multiplying everything inside the parentheses, it's only on the outside. But it does get rid of our fraction, which is kind of nice. So I get 3x minus 39 equals negative 72. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Negative 72 minus 8x. And then again, I get to solve. Add 8x to both sides. I get 11x minus 39 equals negative 72 plus 39. So 11x equals negative 33. So when I divide by 11, I get x equals negative 3. Okay, so that's it. Big thing is do the distributive property, simplify each side. If you want to get rid of the fraction, you are able to multiply, but do not multiply inside the parentheses. Okay, I would probably jot that down under my things to remember. So that's all I got for you. Make sure to do the independent practice. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for watching. Verdias out.